be telling a story of my first wrestling match. So there I was, waiting in line for the scale. For many wrestlers, this is a very tense point because if they don't make weight, they don't get to wrestle. And as I was waiting for the weight classes before me, the 103, the 112, 119, finally it got to me, which was the 152-pound weight class. I step on the scale with all my clothes on and my shoes and weighing at about 142 pounds. And my weight class is 152. Unlike most wrestlers, I had no worry for making my weight class because I had been bumped up because I couldn't beat the 140 or the 145-pound weight class. So I was just graduated to the 152s. And this was my first time ever wrestling. Then my opponent steps on, and he is just about to the bare minimum clothing you can wear to weigh in, and he weighs in just under 152. So I'm having to give up a few pounds. And I'm pretty nervous. I don't know what to do, and this guy doesn't look like it's going to be an easy match. I was hoping that he would outweigh it, or they didn't have a wrestler 152s, and I would just get my hand raised by default. But no such luck today. So after we all weigh in, the upper weight class is behind me, we shuffle out the door into the cold gymnasium. Quite a contrast from wrestling practice since our coach likes to turn the heat up for wrestlers that are trying to cut weight. So normally you have a hot, sweaty, nasty wrestling practice. Now it's a cold, dry gymnasium with a big wrestling mat right in the center of the basketball court with a row of chairs on either side while each team splits off and goes and sits in their assigned chairs. Each weight class going. And we started at 103, so I had some time to sit there and be nervous and shake and worry about what's going to happen. I don't want to lose my first wrestling match. My grandpa's up in the stands. He was a state champion wrestler, and he's got a lot of expectations for me. And so as each goes down, I'm contemplating, what got me into this mess? Why did I decide to start wrestling in 9th grade? And I go back to when our football coach had us all take a knee on the last day of football practice. So the wrestling coach, Coach Zebo, could come talk to us. It's a good thing we were on a knee, so we were at eye level with him. He's a short guy. And he told us, hey, all you guys from the football team, I want to personally invite you to come try out for the wrestling team. It's a pretty easy transition from football to wrestling. Well, it wasn't very easy. Wrestling practice is about 10 times harder than football practice. Football practice, we stand around a lot. Wrestling practice, there's no rest at all for a whole 2 hours. And I had learned maybe 1 or 2 things. I knew how to tackle, that was from football, and I learned a few things from wrestling. Hopefully the guy who was wrestling hadn't been wrestling for 8 years and knew everything about it. And then finally, they call out the 152-pound weight class. So I get up and I take my warm-ups off, and I snap on my headgear, and I walk slowly up to the scoring desk and check in. I'm Luke Palmer, and I'm the 152-pound weight class, and so they can check me out. Then I walk to the center of the wrestling mat and wait for my opponent to do the same. He checks in at the desk, comes up, and then we each have a line that we have to put our foot on. The referee has to shake hands and tells us, have a good clean match, and then the match begins. And I kind of sit there, dazed for a second. What do I let him make the first move? Do I make the first move? And he makes the first move, and I do one of the 2 moves I know. I sprawl out and don't let him get to my legs, and then I end up turning him over and getting 2 points. The ref awards me 2 points for a takedown. Then I turn him onto his back, and the ref counts 1, 2, 3, but I don't get him all the way down on his back. So I'm only awarded 3 points for his back, nearly touching the ground. So I'm up 5-0. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And right as I'm about to try to score some more points, he does a reversal, and he gets 2 points. And we keep going, and I just let him, or he just lets me up, and I get a point for an escape. And then I just go do what I did at the beginning. I keep tackling him over and over and over again. And I keep getting awarded a lot of points. So now it's 12-4. I've got a big lead. Problem is, I'm spent. I got nothing left. I'm about to pass out. I'm so tired. And then goes the buzzer. Unfortunately, this buzzer means that the match is only 1/3 of the way over, not over. So now I've got 4 more minutes of wrestling this guy. I have an 8-point lead, but I have nothing left in me. So I go over to my coach for the little short time we have to talk. He's like, all right, you need to do this, this, and this, and this. We're going to put you down at the bottom, and then you're going to escape, score a point, and then you're going to take him down again. But coach, I can't do it. I can't do anything. What's my other options? Well, if you can't score any points on him, you can try to pin him and end the match early, so you're not, coach, I can't do that. Already tried that. Can't do anything. Well, your other choice is to stall as long as you possibly can and just don't let him get points. You can let him get a few, but hopefully the ref doesn't start awarding him stall points. That sounds like what I need to do. I'm going to do that one, coach. All right, so I go in the middle, and we start off in the up position again, and the ref blows his whistle again. And we start wrestling, and I just keep pushing away, just not really doing anything, and the ref starts telling me, you got to improve your position, you got to improve your position. So I pretend like I'm trying to shoot in at him. I do a pretty good job of selling it. And then he ends up taking me down, and he gets 2 points. And then he throws in a dirty crossface, right across my nose. And my nose starts gushing blood out onto the mat, and the ref has to call it for blood time. So we get 2 minutes to fix my nose. I'm happy for that. I have 2 minutes rest is all I need right now. And so they shove some cotton up my big old cotton rounds up my nose, and we're sitting there, and I'm drinking as much water as I can and trying to get as much rest as I can, sitting down on the mat, and my coach is like, just stay in there, you still got 6-point lead, just keep moving. So I go out there, and I start wrestling him again, and then he gets me down again, and he's trying to turn me on my back and get some more points, and I know I can't give up those points. So I look around, look at the scoreboard, see how much time I have left, and then I pull out my cotton and I start pouring blood out on the mat again. Oh, more blood time. Okay, go over there. So, all right, coach, get the water over here. And so I get some more water, and the ref says, "You don't have any more blood time. Another one is a loss for you. You can't have another blood time out." Oh, that's easy. I just don't pull the cotton out again. So I go out there, and we still have about 1:45 left, and we start wrestling, and then I'm really stalling. I can't even hide it now. I'm just like walking back away from him, just trying to keep my distance from him, and the ref starts awarding him points for me stalling. And now I only have about a 2-point lead. And then I just go all out to make it look like I'm trying to do something, and it's probably the ugliest wrestling match I've ever seen. And then, the final buzzer rings. I'm up by 2 points. We walk to the center of the mat. The ref grabs each one of our hands, checks to make sure he has the right color, raises my arm into the sky, and even though it was the hardest, most tiring thing I've ever done, that little part right there, was all worth it.